Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel with the most hated guinea pig on YouTube. So I just want to go ahead and pose the question like I always do. When you look back on these older franchises, whether they are toys, games, movies, TV shows, or possibly even books, what is it you feel in that one transfixed moment in time? It is joy or maybe a sense of accomplishment, a heartfelt sense of belonging that you shared with family or friends, or maybe it was motivation inspired by wonderful tales, or even those that you imagined when you used them as your escape. And with childlike wonder, played, read, watched, or listened to these franchises that, when after years have passed, still to this day call out to the child in you. And with reverence, you recall those moments and always remember them with fondness. These wonders from years past that have given hope to those who felt hope was lost. Will you forget those times, or will you seek to keep them alive and in your heart forever? Welcome, everybody. Let's go ahead and we're going to run around the table. JJ, go ahead and tell the good people about yourself.
Hey, JJ.
We'll give JJ a moment, Supreme. Go ahead, Drew.
All right, so I am Drew Taylor from Bounding Into Comics. Of course, I also have my own YouTube channel, and you can catch me there at youtube.com/Supreme Heretic. And yeah, I do a Thursday show about Battlestar Galactica. So, if you're a Battlestar fan, check that out. But I'm here because I love my old school stuff, and Tommy always loves discussing old school, so that's why I look forward to being on this show every Monday.
Yeah, man, it's always a pleasure to have you. JJ, I think you're good now. Go ahead and tell the good people about yourself.
Is he muted?
I think you might be muted, JJ.
Yes, I was muted. I've been sitting here talking the whole flipping time, man, and oh wow, I feel so dumb now.
Well, on going old school retro discussions, I mean, I want everybody to understand that booming is not no.
I'm not a freaking boomer. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. I don't have a lot going on at the moment, but on Tuesday nights, you can find me there at 9 o'clock Eastern for the Chaos List on Chaos Central, and also Bigger Ford Entertainment with Onzo and Chris Knight and Danny Graham. And then I got my own live stream I do. It's called Randomness at its Finest. Random panel, random topics. You guys ought to come by and check it out whenever I can figure out when I'm going to freaking do it. Still trying to find a home night for it. And also you can find me here on Twitter at SithLord3827. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's lottery. Come check it out. What's going on, Tommy? What's going on, Drew? Good to see you guys.
Yeah, just chillaxing, talking some old school.
Oh, always a pleasure to see both of you guys here. And make sure everybody that's in the chat, if you aren't already subscribed to these fine gentlemen, that you go ahead and do that. We here at the Guinea Pig Collective would truly appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead, and before we start off, I'm just going to say hey to everybody in the chat. Cold Blitter Credit had swung by, Angela Straven, Darth Haster. We got TWTG content in the house. Kashi Queen had stopped by. Thank you, my lady, for coming by, and I hope you do come back. We got Ancient One in the chat. What's going on, buddy? We've got Luffy as God, Benzo H. We got Curtis YZ and Keck44 up in the house. Always a pleasure to see you guys. And we are going to just go ahead and get started talking about some old school stuff. Drew, what would you like to talk about this week? We're going to let you start off the show.
Man, Tommy, you remember the old Mask cartoon?
Oh yeah,
and the old toys. I had those. I didn't get to talk about them last time, man. You know, I kind of like that mask thing, man. I watched the old cartoon a little bit. What was that dude's name that drove the red Camaro? Matt Tracker. Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Tracker. That's what his name
Yeah.
was. Mask was pretty cool, man. I kind of liked the whole idea behind it. Do you remember that at all, Tommy? I know JJ does.
Oh yeah, I remember it. It was actually something that I didn't really watch much, but I do recall it. I actually did have a couple figures, like maybe up to a year ago, that I sold on eBay.
What the hell did that anagram stand for? Because I know it stood for something. There was the mask thing. It was it all had dots between it, so I know it stood for something. I can't remember what the hell the anagram stood for.
Mobile assault something.
Yeah, that's what mobile assault. Yeah, I can't. Shit, I can't remember. But
Even though it was a K, I'm thinking it was mobile assault strike command.
Mobile, mobile armored strike command.
Armored.
Mhm.
yeah.
He looked it up.
So Luffy is God said there was Matt Tracker and the bad guy was Miles Venom. That's right. That's what the bad guy was. Yeah,
It was like G.I. Joe meets Transformers, so
a little bit. Yeah,
couldn't call him Cobra. The organization was called Venom.
yeah. That was pretty cool, man. I had the Camaro because I liked the Camaro because you know I just like I like
only had one, and
I like the old Camaros. I can't remember if I had the semi or not.
I had the very
Well, they
lower
had a
right,
couple
man.
different ones.
That
Yeah,
race car, but I had the mask one. That looks like a Venom one.
I had the motorcycle.
Yeah, because the fucking wheels and shit flipped apart and it turned into a plane.
Yeah, I had the motorcycle. I had I think I had that Firefly one up there at the top. Yeah, I think I had that one too. I don't think I had the. I don't think I had like the Bronco or whatever that black truck was, the jackhammer. I don't think I had that. But yeah, I thought that was like kind of a neat show. You know, the cartoon was a little cheesy every once in a while, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Miles Mayhem. Yeah, Matt Tracker was a good guy, or was the Matt Tracker is a good guy, and the bad guy was Miles Mayhem. Yes, because when I sold those figures, the one I had, according to Christie, sup assholes.
China is asshole.
But yeah, I mean, I do recall it. Hey, Fanzine, welcome,
What up?
buddy. It's good to see you.
Good to be back here.
Hey, Fenzine, what's going on, my friend?
We
Going
also
good, how
have
you?
Paulie. We have
Paulie.
Paulie with us, Latino Slant.
Latino slant.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry, man. Apologize, guys, for getting here late. All apologies. What's
It's all
happening?
good, bro? It's all good.
Not
We were
much.
just
Hey.
talking about the first topic we got on was we were talking about the old mask, the cartoon and the toys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, did you guys have any mask stuff when you were kids?
Like the Jim Carrey one, right?
No. We're talking about the
Pull it back up, Tommy.
the red Camaro that actually like it had gull wing doors on it and it flew, and then they had like a whole little force. It was almost like a hybrid of GI Joe and Transformers in one a little bit.
Oh, no, I didn't know. I didn't have this one. Sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Hey, Angela Straven, what's up? I see y'all in the chat. Cold-blooded critic, Curtis, Ancient One. I see my people in here. Christy, Keck, yep, Benzo. It's good to see you. Runner. No, Runner ain't gonna know. Runner Studios, Cooper, he ain't gonna know any of what we're talking about.
No.
Shoot, he was born long after
You,
this.
you never know. Sometimes the youngins can surprise you, though. Sometimes they can.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Hi, Amber, Cassie Queen. Good to see you. But
Do any of them look familiar to you, Fanzine?
No, I actually do not know this. When was this on?
no,
Or when did this come out, this line or whatever?
It was around the same
This
time.
would have been, I want to say, around like 85.
the 80s G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it was
This
like
was
80,
definitely
85
80s.
or something.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
one I do not know. I do not know this one. I do not remember it.
Latino. Did you have any of those?
No, man.
1985.
85.
I thought it was. I thought it was.
Yeah, 85. I was out of the kind of the action figure game by then. I was 15. I was,
wow.
yeah, I know, man. I'm the oldest guy here, I bet. But yeah, you guys can come.
No, I was born. Yeah, you got me by a couple of years. I was born in '74, so
Mhm.
you know, that's
I got you by 2 years.
I was born in 72.
Yeah, so
I'm like the youngest one here then.
oh yeah, 50. Yeah, you are, but
Yeah.
it's all
Wait,
good.
Supreme Heretic. How old are you, man?
46.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean,
I-
those look sick though.
I act
Yeah, they
the
were.
same way. Yeah.
Yeah, Mask was pretty awesome. I mean, the cartoon was pretty good. You know, it got a little cheesy at times. It wasn't quite as good as what I thought GI Joe was, or the good old Transformers. But you know, Mask held its own. It was all right. You know, same as you know, some of the other secondary action cartoons that were out there were pretty good. Yeah, this one held its own, but I like the toys. I thought they were cool. My favorite was still the red Camaro.
Well, I mean, the one thing with all these different franchises, especially when they came out in the 80s, is all of them were actually all tied behind the same idea that actually started off with Hasbro when they relaunched G.I. Joe. Because when they relaunched G.I. Joe, the first thing they did is they went ahead and they started a comic book series up. They got the regular ads out there, and they started off with a cartoon to help push the line. And that's the same thing that just about every other toy franchise that came out after G.I. Joe from 1982, they all followed that exact same format. And Mask was absolutely no different. They came out with a toy line, they had a comic book, and they also had a cartoon. They all followed that same pattern.
Yeah,
it was successful though. I mean, so
I know I'm gonna have to be looking this Mask up because I'm gonna have to check it out because I do not remember that one. But like Curtis said, he said the logo looks familiar. It does look familiar after I saw the Mask logo, but I can't place it, so I don't really remember it.
yeah, it was really awesome. I thought it was pretty damn cool. Like I said, I didn't have like all the toys, but you know, I had quite a few.
Cool. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out, look it up.
Yeah, I wonder how much actually, Tommy, those go for on eBay now.
I could check it up on my phone.
Yeah,
On my eBay account.
what does the red Camaro go for? I'm curious.
Well, it all depends on what condition you're wanting to sell it in. Also,
Yeah,
if it's prime in the box, man, that's probably a higher at least $100. If
All right, so I'm seeing on average they're really actually not going for a whole lot.
oh,
The Mask Bulldog Semi is going for $69.99 used, and that's out of the box. The red Camaro is going for $40. Best offer out of the box. I mean, these are all out of the box. None of these are boxed. So
oh, okay.
I see some of them as low as $12.
Yeah, see, boxed mint, they would probably be, I don't know, up there about probably $80, 60, $80.
Yeah.
Deviant
there's one
says-
for 150.
Yeah, Deviant Pork says they found a screenwriter for the movie adaptation of Mask, so that's interesting.
Oh,
Let's hope they don't screw
Steve.
that up.
Steve, up, man? How you going? How you doing, my friend?
Always a pleasure to see him right in the chat.
What's up, Steve?
It's even more of a pleasure when he winds up on the panel. Steve cracks me up. I love that guy.
I figured it was past Steve's bedtime by now.
Yeah, so that was my topic, Tommy.
All right, awesome. And we are going to go ahead and Fanzine finally returning to the panel. My friend, I'm so glad you were able to make it tonight. And I am going to actually try to end this one by 11 so I could stop by and see what you got going on your channel. In case nobody is aware of it, Fanzine is running a live at 11 o'clock. Hopefully, as soon as I'm ending this one, and I'm not going to run over into his. So, hey, go ahead and let people know about yourself, what you got coming up on your live stream later, and then you can go ahead and you could start off with whatever topic that you want to talk about, my friend.
All right. I'm Fanzine. Hey. Go ahead, JJ.
Pardon me. I'm sorry, real quick. Stig said if you got room, he'll pop in for a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve.
You want me to deal with it?
Oh, could you get that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Steve, it's, you're going to be getting a DM from me.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay, JJ. It's all good. But yeah, like Tommy said, I'm Fanzine tonight. I'm going to be doing a live stream on the first two Bill and Ted films, possibly get into like the cartoon and TV show as well. Right. It's going to be a good one. I might have Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark on there. Nice. Final Death Star is going to be on there. Nice. Culture Casino probably. So we're going to be doing a little Bill and Ted chatting. You know, I'm into movies. I'm like Tommy. I'm into all the retro 80s, 90s stuff. It's good times, good stuff. I love that stuff, you know. And that's what I do. I do movie reviews and stuff like that on my channel. So,
and if you guys haven't checked them out, please make sure you do. One of my mods, can you go ahead and put Fanzine's link in the chat for me? Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tommy.
Of course.
Let's see. What can we talk about? What's a good old retro?
Well, you know, that's the beauty of this panel, man. You just bring up whatever retro topic hits your fancy that you remember, that you have a connection to.
Let's think about this. You know, I did see do you guys remember Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Oh yeah. I remember God, on Elvira, Mistress of the Dark show, when she was all hyping that movie. Oh man, that's an oldie but goodie right there.
I was going through Twitter and I seen like an advertisement for it. I was like, I love that movie. And then it got me thinking about the old cartoon. Do you guys remember the old cartoon about it?
Yep.
Oh man, it was just, you know, I don't know. This is like the cheesiness, the badness of the movie and how it translated to this cartoons and all this stuff was just, you know, amazing me, because so many people think that's such a bad movie, but it's actually just a really good, cheesy, bad movie, you know?
Well, I mean, it wasn't the only like cheesy bad movie that they actually made a cartoon, because if you remember back in, that would have been the mid 90s or maybe late 80s. I forget exactly when it was, but they actually did the Toxic Avenger as well.
Yeah, I still can't believe that got a cartoon. I just not.
I have a retro topic for you.
Sure.
The host himself, Tommy.
How you been, Steve?
I've been quite well.
Awesome. It's good to hear from you again, man.
Oh, likewise.
So, Fanzine, did you have anything more on that?
No, I was just thinking, you know, because I actually just bought Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Return of the Killer Tomatoes, and it's like I was watching Return of the Killer Tomatoes, and they do this like bit with product placement, and I was watching behind the scenes, and they're like, we were like the first people to do that in a movie, and they don't get enough credit for it. Which, yeah, that's pretty true. They did do that, and it was pretty funny the way they integrated it. And then sadly, it became like a big part of movies now.
Well, that was part of that early breaking of the fourth wall.
Yeah,
in movies. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good topic there. And also, did you guys know there was a spinoff of Knight Rider?
I remember the reboot in the 90s.
I seen it on YouTube today. There was like a lost spinoff to the original Knight Rider back in the 80s.
They had a cartoon for it.
Did they?
Yes. I do recall they had a cartoon for it as well.
Cool. I've never seen the cartoon.
Because as a matter of fact, when they released the toys for Knight Rider, they weren't based on the original show. They were based more on the cartoon.
Cool. You have to bring some of them up, Tommy. Let us see them.
Let's see if I can find them.
Anybody else got anything while Tommy's looking?
I'm still thinking actually, because Steve showed up, so I'm scared to talk about what I was going to talk about now.
Well, as long as you don't talk about Swedes.
No.
That them?
Yeah.
The heck's that?
And the figures themselves, I want to say that they were about 5-inch tall figures.
That's pretty neat.
Oh, you got there's a two-tone one. It's actually looking pretty cool.
Oh, the
Yeah.
first one, yeah.
Always wanted
But
to.
yeah, I mean,
Were you guys into models?
Yeah.
Yeah, you use mostly Playboy models.
That too.
Yeah, I was going to say
I'm thinking, wait a minute before I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm thinking the hot glue and type of models, and then I know what Steve's gonna say. Go ahead.
Don't sniff glue.
Okay. Oh, all right. We'll take that.
Hey, well, whatever sticks it to you.
No, but I remember making models of of a lot of those cars. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the kind of like the plastic sheets that came, you had to pop out all the parts and shit.
That's just pain too.
Right.
I'd get halfway through one and I'd be like, I ain't finishing this today.
I had a model of the Blue Thunder chopper. Remember that movie?
Ooh.
Yeah, tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still over at my parents' place actually. It's pretty
didn't
cool.
wind up in the bottom of that pond.
No, didn't blow it up with fireworks either.
I remember the model kits when you actually used to get a subscription to the model kit company, and they would mail out new models every month. Sometimes, depending on the company that you were getting from, if they were like a snap type model, you might wind up getting 2 models a month because obviously there's no glue involved or nothing like that, and you're just snapping all the pieces together. But yeah, for a while there, my dad had actually paid for one of those for me, and he had a little subscription going where I would get 2 models a month. And they were just like random models because you just never knew what you were going to get. But there was a lot of interesting kits that they wound up sending. So
They're harder to get now, those model kits. You need to buy them online, at least here. You used to be able to find them at toy stores and bookstores and all that, but I don't think I've seen any in ages.
Yeah.
now Curtis says, I made a few. I sucked. Kept sniffing the glue and lost focus. Just kidding. I did suck at it, though. Too young at the time.
Man.
That's a good one. Yeah, you don't really see models sold a lot anymore, do you?
You know,
yeah.
there's like a few stores that I know of. Like we actually have one model store like within, I don't know, like a 25-mile range from our house. And that is the only one in the area. So, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that there's not hobby stores around anymore to like buy good model kits and stuff. Because man, I used to love building model kits when I was a kid. Like especially like some of my favorite ones to get was the old World War II carriers and battleships, stuff like that.
Nice. I used to get like GTOs and stuff like that.
Now, so what else you got on that? Latino, were you going to build off of that, or was that just a quick one and done? Paulie, are you alive, Paulie?
Sorry, man. You know the reason why I was late is I had to go and feed the GF here, so I was just making sure that she enjoyed her food. And well, I woofed down. That's why I've been so silent. I was just woofing down Pollo Loco. So all apologies. I remember having a subscription to Starlog.
Oh wow, yeah.
Nice.
Love to death, man. Love to death. And I kept a lot of those issues, but like a lot of artifacts from my youth, my mom threw away when I went to college, you know?
And well, you can actually, I believe, forget what website it was, but you can go and look that stuff up. It's under public domain. Starlog is. And you can go back and read a lot of the old stuff online.
Let me just take this real quick. Angela Straven, yeah, at one time AC Moore did have a lot of like the model kit stuff, if that's what you're talking about. Unfortunately, since AC Moore is no more, that's all but gone because Michael's, the other like similar type of store, like craft store, they bought all the AC Moores out. They yeah, pretty much did away with them. They eliminated their competition, like Vince McMahon strangle holding the WCW. So yeah, go ahead.
No, I remember my favorite covers of Starlog were Aaron Gray from Buck Rogers.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
She was hot, man.
Yeah, she was a well put together.
I met her.
No way.
Yeah, I met her up in Cleveland.
Okay,
How's she holding up?
She actually held up pretty well.
I'm really starting not to like you.
Beautiful face, man.
I went up to Comic-Con in Cleveland in the building where they modeled the Daily Planet off of.
Yeah.
It was held in that. And I met Aaron Gray, the chick that played Supergirl in the original movie, which I cannot remember her name right now.
Oh, Helen Slater.
Helen Slater, yeah. Helen Slater looked pretty damn good.
The legend of Billie Jean.
Yeah. I met Sam Witwer, and yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. And the Lex Luthor from Smallville. What year did I go? It was like 2008, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who was that last one?
The guy that played Lex Luthor from Smallville, Michael Rosenbaum, and Ray Park.
Are you for fuck's sake, man? I don't like you. Tommy. Tommy, put him in the Phantom Zone, man. Come on.
I would never put nobody there. Do you know who operates that channel? Oh, never mind. We're not talking about him.
I also met Edward James Olmos.
Oh, now we're talking. That's my kin.
He's awesome. I was standing in line, right? I was talking to this guy. I was standing in line. Here comes Edward James Olmos right in front of me. He looks at me, says, "Excuse me, son." And he looks at the guy in front of me, goes, "Can you tell me where the bathroom is?" We're just like frozen there for a minute. And he's like, "Yeah, it's over there." And he walks away, and the dude looks at me and he goes, "That was awesome."
Man,
I need to do a slant show, a retrospective on his career and all the amazing characters He's played.
What? Did you just say a
Remember
Slant?
Wolfen? Remember the movie, old movie called Wolfen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's in Wolfen. I mean, he's been a gypsy. He was in Blade Runner. He was a Dama.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah. He was a cool guy though. He was cool.
He was on Miami Vice as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
well, that's where he won his Emmy. That's where he won his Emmy.
God, Steve, his character was so awesome in Miami Vice.
Lieutenant Castillo.
Yep.
And he would just say this, and he would look at you, but I'll
Yeah.
kick your ass if you don't do what I say.
Well, I still love that scene. We're in the midst of reviewing season 2 of BSG on my channel right now, and I love that scene. A few episodes back when we were reviewing Pegasus, just that where Ty calls him on the phone. It says that the chief and Hilo had already had their trial and they were sentenced to execution, and Adama just looks at Callie and says, I want a Marine strike team and a Raptor in 5 minutes. Prepare to launch alert fighters. And then he looks at her and says, "You have work to do." That's awesome. That's
awesome.
Such a good scene.
Yeah, I met him. It was like right after Battlestar Galactica ended. He came up like right after.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
hey, Curtis YZ. This is exactly why I would like you to come on at some point. You could come on and you could talk about Blade Runner until you are satisfied, sir. I mean, completely and utterly satisfied. I mean, leave
I'd
it
like
all
to
on
be
the
part of
table.
that.
I want you to be as clean as somebody that just had a good shot, 44 ounces of Waltons. I want you that evacuated. you definitely got to come on at some
Damn,
point, Curtis.
you wish him a rectal explosion? What the hell is wrong?
No, we're just talking about a good evacuation here, something to completely get him all cleaned out of it so he can get it all out of his system. That's all.
Just to make sure it doesn't talk shit.
Oh my God.
I'll leave it to Stieg.
That
Stieg
was
is
good.
great.
Oh, I've missed that shit.
No. Yeah. We're hoping. That's
Hey, Matt Mardigan, how's it going, buddy? Hey,
What up,
don't worry.
Mardigan?
I've got that there commercial
What's
for
up,
you
Mardigan?
for your product line. You know what I'm talking about. I am working on it, sir. I did not forget about you. I've got you firmly in my sights.
All right. Who's next up on the topic board, Tommy?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about my topic real quick, and then we will let Stieg go because I'm sure Stieg has got something very interesting, and I want to devote some time to listen to what he has to say. So,
No,
I'm
I
actually-
have nothing.
Stieg, you always have something.
I'll come up with something then.
Okay, I'm actually going to talk about not just the toy line or anything like that. I'm going to talk about something that's toy related, and I'm going to talk about Lionel Kitty City. Now, before they had opened Kitty City, they had actually operated under not only Lionel Play World, but also Lionel Toy Warehouse. And it was Joshua Lionel Cohen that helped found the company in 1969 in New York City, with its headquarters actually being in Edison Township, New Jersey. And of course, like I said, he began with Lionel Play World and Lionel Toy Warehouse in 1969. And around 1980s, now this was after the Great Recession in 1980s, where they actually had almost went out of business with their Lionel Toy, franchise. They almost went out of business, but they filed for bankruptcy. They wound up pulling out of it, and then after they came out of it stronger. And then they opened in 1980 the first Kitty City toy store. And if anybody remembers these old toy stores, they're not like. Maybe if you were around for Toys R Us, you'll remember how Toys R Us were set up, how they were like snaked aisles and you couldn't really see anything. The way these original toy stores like Kitty City were set up is they were big, long aisles like a warehouse. Like you felt like you were watching Indiana Jones when they went into that big warehouse at the end of the movie with the big, long aisles that just seemed to stretch on forever. They look like a giant warehouse filled with toys. I mean, you just like I marveled at those long aisles of toys every time I went into a Kitty City. And then when Toys R Us came about, them as well. Now, Kitty City wound up actually being a bit of a victim of its own success because at one point they had over 100 some odd stores, but Toys R Us, being the new kid on the block and being a lot bigger and having a lot more money, wound up starting to push Kitty City out of the picture. And by 1991, they were closed and they were gone. And it really is a shame. And you know, there are other subsidy stores actually lasted in just like I want to say it was like 1983 or 84, the subsidiary stores for Lionel.
Yeah.
And then one guy who's actually he's heavy into real estate, Richard Coons. He not only had purchased everything that was Lionel as far as the toy stores and all their subsidiary affiliate names and everything like that, but he had earlier on in 1986 purchased all the rights to the Lionel model train sets from General Mills, who actually owned the franchise rights to the trains. So, I mean, do you guys remember actually going to Lionel Kitty City?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Turn that frown upside down.
Yep. That was God, man. You know, that was an experience. God, I know.
I've been to Lionel's, but what we had here was Lionel Play World.
Yes. Yeah.
I've never heard of. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Was it a kangaroo?
Yep.
I don't think this ever got.
Yeah, that was the mascot for.
Did this chain
for Lionel? That was their mascot. Yeah, it was a chain.
No, did it? Yeah, but did it ever get out to the West Coast? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I've never heard of this one either.
I'm pretty sure they were everywhere at one point.
I remember Johnny's Toys. Do you guys remember that one?
No.
No.
I remember KB. They KB
Yeah,
toys. They
KB,
were
I
in a
remember.
lot of the malls, but they weren't a national chain.
Right.
KB was they were a lot of places too, but they actually formed off the back of the two toy giants like Lionel Kitty City or just the Lionel toy stores and of course Toys R Us, because they were actually selling the stuff that those stores and all the other stores like at the time, like we had stores like Clover and oh god, what was some of the other ones? There were no like Targets or nothing like that really back then. I mean, not like there are now. We still had Kmart's back then, you know,
Circuit
Cities and stuff like that. Yeah, but I mean, as far as toy stores, like you know, just stores that carry toys like Kmart and all them. And what they would do is they would get all the stock that those stores couldn't sell off the shelves anymore. KB would get them for a discount, and that's why they were able to mark them down so highly when when you went into the stores to go actually purchase toys. That's why they were so cheap. They were all discounted. I mean, it's the same thing when you go in the dollar store now and you buy like food products or candy bars. That's stuff that the regular stores couldn't sell anymore, or it was getting close to the expiration date, and they sell them off to these dollar stores and it's cheaper.
In West LA, thinking about it now, there was a local toy store that I could walk to from my apartment. And I was a little kid, so that was always dangerous for my mom's pocketbook. But I remember, getting my very first Star Wars figures there, Shogun Warriors, and there was another one in Westwood. But they were all independent. I think a Toys R Us was kind of far away from me from what I remember. as a little kid, you know what I'm saying, like a couple miles as far away.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to. God, I remember though. I think Lionel Kitty City was pretty much mostly the Midwest, the North, and the South. It was in, and that was pretty much it. I don't think it made its way real heavy out west.
Well, I mean, they did have 100 stores at one point, so, or I'm pretty sure it was like 100. It was a little over 100 stores at one point. So, and that's just for Kitty City itself. That's not including Play World or the Toy Warehouse. So, I always wanted to get to do the Toys R Us game show or whatever it was. The one where you get to go through the store, loading up a cart, and attempt to have the highest bill. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Remember
God,
that.
you know how much I prayed to be able, like, I would go right to the Transformers section of the store and just load up on all the biggest figures.
That's true. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I loved those older stores. I mean, I love that, we turn your frown upside down. And I mean, of course, you had Toys R Us with their incredible jingle, and then Jeffrey the Giraffe. I mean, what do kids have now? What do they have now? Like Walmart is supposed to be one of the biggest toy stores now.
Yeah.
Like, what does that say about these younger generations of kids? That your big toy store is a Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't
and
have
look what
crap.
you see at Walmart. Let me just go ahead and add this real quick before I let everybody else answer. If you have not seen the type of people that wind up frequenting a Walmart at night, you really need to go to, according to Christy's channel, when she has Walmart After Dark, and see some of the slanderous looking people that actually walk through those stores. It is quite disgusting. It is something unlike you've ever seen before in your life. It is worse than walking in and watching a Disney Star Wars movie on repeat. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, what Soul Assassin says there in the chat, Amazon is what the kids have now. I mean,
yeah,
it's.
Oh, I need to reply to Luffy. We did not have an Edwin's store where I live. I've never heard of it.
You know what's kind of sad too is they don't encourage kids to play anymore, or to sit around and do something like constructive away from the computer, away from the game console, and build a model kit or something like that. It's not encouraged anymore. It's mostly one of the what they're doing is either trying to teach kids about their sexuality at like 8 or 9 years old, or force some garbage thing on them instead of just letting them be kids and have these experiences.
I can play devil's advocate a bit for that one, though, because when we were kids, we had our action figures and the floor in our bedrooms or whatever where we used to play, or outside in the yard or whatever. Nowadays, with most video games, it's actually the same. Only the floor of your bedroom is the game world, right? And the action figures is the characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a bit similar, but it's just shifted to the screen, which means less stuff for the parents to tidy up. But I'd say it's in the same alley.
It is, Steve, and I know where you're coming from, but the point I'm trying to make is that when you had action figures and physical toys, and you invited one of your friends from down the block to come over and play, and they brought their toys over, and you have like a little toy war. There was a certain sense of wonder and things of that nature that you just can't recreate in the cyber world. It's not it's not the same thing, because there was a very tactile, you're using your imagination, you're using your sense of touch. There's just a very tactile connection, very a very organic connection in those methods of play, and that is something, again, that just can't be reproduced in the cyber world, no matter how hard you try. And yeah, it's sad, because the kids nowadays are missing out.
Yeah, if you think about it, the kids who grew up with PlayStations and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a replacement for toys or imagination, they're 20 something now. And ever see an SJW with an imagination?
No.
I've never seen it. That's why they keep remaking shit, right?
Yeah.
Or edit something that the previous generation created. I think too much video games and basically being told by your parents to play video games and be quiet kills your imagination, because you're never allowed to let it grow and develop. And I fully believe that's kind of a thing we're seeing now in the entertainment industry, where there's nothing new. It's all just different versions of something that someone else created and that the other people did better.
Well, there is such a thing, believe it or not, as cyber overload. We spend so much time in front of, adults and children in front of, in a digital world, in front of a screen of some sort, whether it be our PCs, whether it be our phones, whether, it be something else. And people have to realize that, those moments that you take, the quiet time that you take for yourself away from that stuff, is valuable, because, you have to have that side of it for yourself, where you can, read a book or work on a non-cyber project, some sort of physical, like hobby project. Those are important experiences to have, because the cyber world has bled into the world at large so much that a lot of people are just, they get overload, and they spend almost too much time there. And you have to have a little bit of that differentiating experience, so that you don't get that overload.
Well, I mean, I think that's a problem. Everybody winds up getting so overloaded. But Stieg, do you have any last thoughts on that?
Yeah, the new generation of kids and teens and 20-year-olds suck. All of them.
I won't argue.
All of them are bitches, and they should be beaten with their belts.
Why not just beat them with a small tree at that point?
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
Stieg, I know you said it was getting late and you were gonna jump off. So
yeah. You have another fellow wanting to pop on. So
are you gonna hang out for a bit, or?
No, I'm gonna pop off.
Okay. All right.
But I'll try to be on earlier on a different stream though.
Well, I would love to be able to have you on next Monday. Chris is supposed to be on. Hopefully he remembers to make it. So I mean, it would be great to see you guys, because you guys had a hell of a discussion. I didn't have a chance to catch it live, but I did catch the replay where you and Chris Knight were talking about Alien. So
yeah, we're doing the sequel next week, I think. So we're getting through quite a bit of movies.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't had a chance to catch that, make sure you subscribe to The Real Review 3000 or also to Chaos Central, and you could catch them talking about movies every Monday.
No, not every Monday.
I thought it was every Monday that you guys talked about it.
No,
Wow.
we've just been professional lately.
Ah. Well, either way, that's where you're going to catch it. So, and
Well,
of course, you
Steve.
have the master of puns himself, Stieg. I
Yeah,
mean,
Steeg.
Yeah,
Nice meeting you, man. Nice meeting you, brother.
nah,
likewise.
he's got to talk a little bit more about Chris's stream then,
Oh, okay.
right before he goes.
I just like listening to Steeg's other
Accent.
streams. No, not his accent, dude.
No, you want to listen to his accent. It's okay,
No.
Paulie. I mean, look, if you are screaming for his accent, it's okay. There's a lot of people that are
Tommy?
in the chat that are probably doing the same.
Yeah,
Tommy.
everybody wants that accent.
I like Steeg on the was it the OG Star Wars?
Coffee
Oh
chat.
yeah, we talk about Star Wars and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, Wedge did shag that chicken. He did. I read the book.
Yeah, me and Steve were on there talking about the games and stuff, so it was fun.
Yeah,
yeah, and no offense, but wasn't paying attention to the accent, Tommy. Got on.
But
Oh man.
if you haven't subscribed to Stieg's channel, please go there and check it. You can go through his whole library in probably like what 5-6 hours.
no. Well, if you count the cartoons, I don't own the right to that. I uploaded anyway. Then yeah, but if you watch my original content, you can easily binge the whole thing after one of Stephen Walton's coffees. So if you're on the toilet, you can binge all my content.
Yeah.
You can watch Stephen Walton at the same time.
So that's your recommendation on how to.
Yeah, it's just I only made some videos because peer pressure. Really, all of a sudden I had 200 subs and nothing on the channel, so I just made some silliness. And, yeah, people seem to like it though, because people are weird.
Yes, we are.
Anyway, take care and be well, all of you, and have a splendid night.
Stieg, thank you for coming by, sir. I
Yeah.
hope to see you again for a
Great seeing
longer
you as
panel.
always.
Hail, Steve.
Yeah.
Hail.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care, Steve.
See you,
Take
Steve.
care, buddy. All right, and joining us now, we have Kai. What's going on, Kai?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hello, Kai.
Hello.
What's
Sorry,
going
I'm
on,
a little
handsome?
I wanted to touch on the whole thing you guys were talking about with kids and video games and playing and toys and stuff. Because so for a while I was a nanny for my nephew, because my friends needed a nanny and I was available, and he'd rather hang out with me for 6 hours than some rando. So I've been with him since I've been around since he was a baby. So I was nannying, and I ended up in a group chat with 14 moms. So yeah, that's fun. It's actually a lot of fun, that chat. They go wild. They forget I'm there sometimes. But I see them acted like, I think it depends a lot on the parents, because I see them actively trying to find things to do with the kids outside, like trying to find activities, places to go, events that are happening. They make their kids go outside because their kids still have a lot of energy, so they still got to get it out, so they go and play and do stuff. But in terms of toys, I do tend to notice, like, the smaller they are, they tend to have toys, but once they get to being, I don't know, they always have screens too, but as they get older, they don't really play with toys as much. It's but they do still play outside, and they're active and whatnot. But that's what I've seen, though. There is still a lot of games that parents actively, they make an effort to be like, stop playing that, it's annoying, go outside.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, one of the reasons I wanted to bring up Kitty City, and it wasn't just because of how great oh, bless you, sir. It wasn't just because of how great I thought that the toy store was itself, but it was actually that feeling that I got when I went in there as a kid, that sense of, like, it was like wonder. I mean, if you want to talk about feeling like Alice in Wonderland, or feeling like Dorothy going to Oz for the first time. That's how I felt every time I walked into one of those big ass toy stores as a little kid. Now, you can't tell me that these kids nowadays have that same feeling when they walk into a store like a Walmart or Target, and they walk into that, what is it, 4 or 5, maybe 6 aisles of toys. You're gonna tell me that there's excitement, that there's like wow, look at this, you know? I don't see any of it myself.
Yeah, I don't. I think there's less of that. The toys nowadays that are like awesome are really cool stuff that I wish I was like, why wasn't that around when I was a kid? But they're bigger, more elaborate items. They're not. It's not like it's like a, you know, like what's a good example? Okay, this is a stupid example, but it's an example. The like tricycle, the 3-wheeler that you could like pull an e-brake and skid out.
Yeah,
Like,
the
Big
big
wheel?
wheels.
yeah.
Big wheel.
It's like a big wheel, but you can with an e-brake or with an emergency brake. So, but yeah, so they have cool features and cool stuff, but they're not. It's not like smaller like toys. It's like bigger contraptions. You know, I don't know if I'm communicating that right, because I've seen some cool toys out there, but it's not like commonplace. I feel like most of it's pretty trash. Like all the stuff that we used to play with it doesn't look like good quality. You know, so I'm not surprised if it's not selling well, or if it even exists at all anymore.
Really is a shame. JJ,
Yeah.
what do you got for us?
Like I said, the only thing I can talk is what I know. No, you'll understand once I start talking about it. In 1977, I was 4 years old, and me and my mom and my dad went to this drive-in, and we called it a double feature. It was Grease and Star Wars.
Oh dang!
Okay, when I say it was Star Wars, it was just Star Wars. There was no episode 4 to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you guys what, that movie blew a 4-year-old's mind. All right.
Is that one of your
Sure.
earliest memories?
Of movies, yes. To where I went to a movie and it sunk in, because I'll never forget it. I had my own bag, full-size bag of Lay's sour cream and onion potato chips. I almost ate that whole bag as a 4-year-old. I was just gazing, watching the movie, like, oh my god, wow! It blew my mind, and that's what I want to talk about. I'm talking about the original trilogy, Star Wars, from when I was 4 years old up until I think 10 or 11, and man, The Empire Strikes Back, absolutely brilliant movie. Return of the Jedi, almost as brilliant, but still a great movie. The characters weren't forgettable. The storyline was tremendous. You know, something you could follow along with. Just a classic tale of good versus evil. You know, how evil's always trying to take over. Depending on how you look at the movie, depending on the type of person that you are, you can actually almost take it as a religious tale. And I love the way it all looked. And I'm talking about, this is long before the special editions. I'm talking about seeing these movies in their original format. Just awesome. You know, the special editions did add a couple cool things into the mix, but they also screwed a lot of shit up. So not as much of a fan as I am the originals. But yeah, I saw, Empire Strikes Back in a theater. I saw Return of the Jedi in a theater. Loved the theater experience. I really miss that. Just the movies in general were just out there.
Were you clamoring for Star Wars toys?
Even the toys back then. Now, don't get me wrong. Now they weren't as good as the early GI Joes, with the Kung Fu grip, but still, it was some awesome ships and play sets. Who can't forget the freaking Ewok treehouse? Any of us that know that toy line know that's knows exactly what that is the moment you hear it.
Well, what about the Death Star escape play set as well? Because that's the first time you actually get to see what that monster that was in the water in the trash compactor room actually looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen the show on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen that. And you know what, Kai, that is a brilliant point to bring up. Because if you guys have not seen, now I know there's some people out there that are like they can't stand Netflix, but you know what? Netflix still have some pretty decent shows. And The Toys That Made Us is a brilliant show to watch if you love a lot of the 80s nostalgia type of shows and content, because they touch on many of the things that I've actually touched on my channel at some point as well. And they do it brilliantly. And plus, you know what, they're able to market all the songs and everything else that I can't really touch unless I want to get a copyright claim. But yeah, amazing show to check out. Go ahead, Kai.
Oh no, that was it. I don't know. I didn't. I was asking because I went.
Oh, okay.
I saw the Star Wars one. If I remember right, they weren't even prepared with toys and stuff when it dropped, right? Like when the movie came out.
Well, no, they were actually looking for a company to work with, and they were getting denied from every company pretty much on Earth. And the last one that was left was this little teeny toy company called Kenner, who really didn't have much going on for them. And Star Wars is actually what made their company. And once that initial screw job deal that they worked with Lucas was done and over with, they weren't making quite as much money as they were in that initial run of the first movie toys.
See what Bo put on his comment.
What's that?
It might have been
the shit. But I'd like to speak on what JJ brought up and painted the landscape with, because for me that was my genesis of all this. That experience of waiting in line to go into a movie theater with my parents, and then being scared the shit out of with one of those cruisers coming up from over your head, with the opening scene in Star Wars. I mean, there was just nothing like it. I mean, and everything else was kind of like, at that time for me, it was too adult. It wasn't in my head yet as far as Doctor Who or 2001: Space Odyssey. A little bit of Planet of the Apes, a little bit of Logan's Run, but to go to the theater and be introduced to Luke Skywalker, I wanted to be Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
And then I fast forward and I go with my girlfriend and our friends, and we fall asleep during the fall of Skywalker last year. We fall asleep. I mean, we got luxuries, the luxury seats and all that bullshit. I've erased the fact that I went and saw that
from your memory.
Yeah. Well, because I don't want my childhood to be tainted. So I
want to add on to that, Paulie. I want to add on to that because you just touched on something about why we love these franchises so much, and JJ, this is a good topic to bring up as well, sir. Thank you so much for bringing it up. One of the things that a lot of people miss out when they talk about they want representation in their movies and everything right now, and this is why we talk about how much we love these old franchises, because these franchises didn't They didn't have to do nothing like that. We didn't have to see every single person of every different ethnicity or every different background. Because, you know, when I was a kid, maybe it wasn't like growing up in the 70s and 80s was a big time of rebellion, you know, for a lot of the status quo. And we had already bucked the system way beyond what these people are crying about now. They're the ones that turned the tide on a lot of cultural racism is in the 70s and 80s when I was growing up. And then people cry that it's, you know, whatever. I ain't got time for their stupidity. But we could look at a movie and we didn't have to see representation in that movie to be able to relate to those characters that were in there and actually feel some kind of connection and want to be just like them, or want to be able to use and be able to incorporate some of their ideals that they had into our daily lives. That's what made these movies and these shows so special to us. And the fact that you said that I wanted to be Luke Skywalker. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, you weren't as bright white as Luke Skywalker with blonde hair, but you could still relate to his character, and I think that says something.
Listen,
that is a testament
as
to how
kids, we don't know
made.
that shit yet. We weren't taught that, you know, any of that color shit yet.
But
Taught. I mean, it wasn't until years later that I wanted to start seeing people that look like me on the screen. But that's later.
Yeah, but even when you grow up, Paulie, wouldn't you say that a lot of those characters were still influential on, you know, to you later on?
I wanted to be Rock. It's still with me today, right? That's why that's why we're here. I wanted to be Rocky Balboa and Luke Skywalker.
Rocky, yes.
Those are my two guys. The Italian style.
Yeah.
Kai, same question. The first time you ever seen any of these type of movies, were you worried about that stuff, or were you able to enjoy them for the stories that they represented?
Oh yeah, hell no, I didn't care about none of that. And I grew up with Power Rangers too, so they had, you know, some diversity in there, but that was never at the forefront of my mind. Like when I watched Power Rangers again as an adult, I realized how heavy Trini's accent was. I never even noticed that as a kid. I was like, wow, she's got a hell of an accent. But as a kid, I didn't even catch that. So we're not thinking about that stuff until someone points it out. I wasn't thinking about these things until I got to high school and people were like saying things I hadn't heard before. And I thought they were joking, but
yeah, but there's movies in our past that in our past, I mean, long before the SJW movement, there's movies in our past that are diverse. Some of them are really diverse. But you know what? It don't matter because it fits the storyline. It wasn't shoehorned down our throats. No one pays attention to it. Now it's like it's every other movie or every other line in a movie has something to do with some fucking representation. And that's what I love about it.
Or was it you, JJ, that talked earlier that brought up Eddie Olmos in a
That was Fanzine.
Yeah, that was Fanzine.
I mean,
Yeah.
hello,
Fanzine.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, he was great as a Dama. It wasn't, oh, it's this Latino actor playing. He was, he was, you know.
Always liked Edward James Olmos. You know, I could relate to anything he did. It never bothered me. I thought he was awesome. Still think he's awesome. And I'm white as they come.
Not quite as white as a script doctor, but I mean, yeah. Well, that guy's like he's like a blinding flashlight in a really dark room. But
I think the reason that these people make such a big deal about race while kids and us don't is because we're looking at the quality of the character of the characters. You know, we're looking at who they are and what they're doing, and these people are just looking at what they are. And you know, when you're looking at the awesome stuff that people are doing, and you're like, oh, he's standing up to the bad guy, and even though he's so scary, and like that's what you take in, not this like, but he's black, and I just don't see myself standing up to a bad guy because I'm not black, you know.
Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy, love that character. I never had. I mean, I watched that. I was like, I pretend to be Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, you know, when I was a kid. It never affected me in any way. I mean, I watched his movies and Richard Pryor, you know, they never fazed me any. I never thought, well, that guy has to be white. It's for me to like him.
or Beverly Hills. No, Police Academy. The dude that makes
Yeah.
all the sounds. I loved that.
Michael
I used
Winslow.
to try to make all those
Yeah.
sounds.
Michael
I didn't need a
Winslow.
Latin person to be.
Yeah,
like,
Michael
next to me.
Winslow. Yep.
And he was
Yeah.
in Cheech and Chong's up in it's either Nice Dreams or Up in Smoke, where
He was in
very-
Nice Dreams. He was actually playing the Jimi Hendrix looking guy.
right. He was there like at a social worker office or something. And he was just playing on people, man.
Yeah, I love when he pops up in movies. It's always like, oh, it's the guy from Police Academy, and he's usually making noises too, for some reason.
They did
that's
the
what
same
he's
thing
known
in
for.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? The and the shit.
And
Bings. I don't remember. I need to watch Spaceballs again. It's been too long. There we go.
But like those movies back in the day, like that you guys said, when you were a kid, you didn't really think about it. You just enjoyed the movie. It didn't matter who was the star of the movie. It didn't matter who the characters were, or well, you know, who the actors were playing the characters, I should say.
Mhm. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, Luke was a quintessential, outcast kid who was like, I just want to belong and always looking to the horizon. It's like what Yoda told him. I've been looking at you for a long time, Luke. Yeah, good job, JJ. Thank you for bringing that up, man.
Yeah, but I think that's the beauty of these older franchises is they actually just could tell a good story without having to try to, be political about it. It was meant to be fun. It was meant to be entertaining. And think about all the toy franchises that so many of these great stories have actually spawned.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and going even beyond that, like I was talking about, with toy stores like Kitty City, if it wasn't for some of those earlier toy stores that actually wound up creating toy stores like Kitty City and Toys R Us and KB Toys and all those other wonderful toy stores that were out at the time, like even the smaller franchise ones. I mean, what things have been exactly the same as they were years ago. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, since all that stuff has been pushed out for internet sales and things that are a little bit less personable. And I think that's what a lot of these movies have become right now. They become less personable. They become more about like, what's the dollar line figure that we can get out of these, as opposed to telling a good story that's going to keep everybody engaged and involved. And it's going to bring people back.
Yeah, because I remember, man. Toys R Us got a shitload of my money.
Well, I think I spent more money in KB than Toys R Us or Kitty City, quite honestly, just because it was so cheaper. It's so much cheaper,
The mall near me that had KB Toys in it, I could never afford none of their shit. It was it had that mall pricing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never could afford it. You go to anywhere, man. Buy at the time like a $7-8 figure. You go to KB Toys, it's like $13-14. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you never buy the new figures though, JJ. That's not why you go to KB Toy. You always go there to get the discount figures that the other stores have given up.
Yeah.
Well, at the time, I was always on a hunt because I was a collector. What figures I didn't have, which ones could I find? Maybe some places have some older ones I could probably grab a hold of. Man, shit, it didn't matter.
Bone. Today's generation's most popular toy was the fidget spinner. You can't make a movie about that. Hey, don't give them ideas, Bone. They might.
You know what? I bet Adam Tower could figure something out.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood has no new ideas, so the fidget spinner trilogy.
I didn't usually. I could usually count on not being able to get the toys from a movie because we didn't. They didn't spend. We didn't get too much spent in that department. My parents are pretty frugal, but we'd get toys here and there, and I loved even though there was nipples on the bat suit and all that shit. The toys for that was a Batman Forever, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, they were dope. I had the big ass Batwing and the Batmobile and something else, but they had some dope toys. The movie was wacky to backy, but the toys were dope.
Fanzine, do you remember a lot of those toy stores like the other types of toy stores? I know you said the local one that you had, but do you remember
Yeah,
like Toys R Us and stuff?
I remember KB Toys, Toys R Us, and Johnny Toys. Around here, the big toys were Johnny Toys and Toys R Us. They were like the two big ones in my area. And Johnny Toys, I remember they used to have this thing where like they'd mail you this key if you sign up for their club or whatever, and they mail you this key, and then you go to the store and it had like this castle in the back, and your key would unlock it, and inside you would get like a big special toy if you was part of their club and everything. And I remember doing that and having so much fun and going in there. I bought so many toys from them at Toys R Us. It was crazy. And sadly, though, I lost a lot of them when I was young because my family hit some hard times. We actually ended up homeless for a little bit. So I lost a lot of my kid stuff when I was younger.
Yeah. That's rough, man.
Yeah. So that's why I do my wall like this. So when I got older and we dug ourselves out and we got a home, we got land and everything, if I can afford a toy, I'm buying a toy. I don't care how old I am.
Oh yeah.
Now, has anybody else noticed this as you've gotten older? Like when you were a kid, let's just say that there was a certain toy, or there was a certain franchise of toys that you really wanted to get your hands on. But unfortunately, if you were like me, your parents only had so much money that they were able to spend on toys like that because there was a lot of other things that had to be taken care of. And even though that these toys seemed relatively cheap at the time, they really weren't all that cheap, because even a $12 toy, that was a decent amount of money back then. That would be like a $30-$40 bill today, basically. So were there any toys that you look at now in retrospect to how things were back then, and you just say, hey, I'm just going to buy this now because I might not ever see it again?
Like if we were to come across it now? Do you mean like if we were to come across it now as adults and we see it?
Yes, if there's a certain like toy that you see now and it reminds you of stuff when you were younger, do you just get like that? I got to get this now, because I'll never see it again. I mean, do you get like that?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Actually, I actually have one on my wall back there. I had a Superboy from the 90s when Superman died, and they brought in all the other Superman, and they brought in Superboy, and I really liked the character of Superboy, and I had the toy, and that's one of the ones I lost. So when they re-released it, it was like 20 something bucks. I got it, so it's on my wall because I just loved that toy when I was young. So yeah, I would.
I've done that numerous times with lightsabers.
Yep.
I think I got 5 or 6 different of the Black Series sabers, and yeah, because I had a lightsaber back in the day, I think 1980, when Empire Strikes Back came out, and it wasn't nothing but a big ass plastic hilt and a long hollow tube with something at the end, and you swung it, and it the whole tube kind of whistled.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh god, I remember them.
Yeah. I had my shit had a yellow blade.
Paulie.
Yeah. So
go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, so that's a great question, because when the Phantom Menace was going to come out, of course we didn't know. We thought it was going to be the next greatest thing, right? I bought every figure of the Phantom Menace, which I still have, because they're stored away. But I went and splurged on those opening day, on those screener tickets for the special edition. And Mark Hamill came to the Man Chinese, and we got a whole bunch of goodies. One was the Luke Skywalker Theater Edition, and it says that shit right there. Yeah. But what I was excited about was they gave you this too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this has been in storage. I want to, now that we just moved into our house, I want to get this baby framed. But yeah, I stocked up. You know, because I had lost all my original Star Wars collection. So yeah.
Kai.
Yeah, I've actually been looking for. Huh. I don't know where they are. Weird. So
You got us digging in our man caves, bro.
when the Speed Racer movie came out, I think I've got it in a box somewhere actually, because I don't have a lot of room to put things up in my room. But when the Speed Racer movie came out, I saw toys of the what's it called? The Mach 5, the Mach 6,
5.
and the Racer X's car. And so I grabbed all three of them, and because I was like, when's the next time there's gonna be like Speed Racer toys, you know? And so I've got those somewhere. I bought a Batmobile, Hot Wheels, because that looked cool. But yeah, that's probably the last time I did that, because I knew that there wasn't gonna be like, there's probably not gonna be another Speed Racer movie. There's probably not gonna be a resurgence of popularity. It's not gonna be a new show or anything. So I just grabbed some Speed Racer toys while they were available. But usually I don't spend too much. I try to spend a lot of money on stuff like that, mostly because I don't have anywhere to put it.
Well, I'm sure that there are times, though, when you see something and you feel like I may never see that again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I get like that, then I'll buy it, like with the Speed Racer stuff. Even though I don't play with them, but I knew I wouldn't see them again.
Tommy was fishing for me to bring this baby out. I got this from Tommy.
Nice.
I rescued this from a dumpster, actually.
Nice.
Oh, snap.
It needs some love. It's a little sunburned here on top, and then it needs a paint job here. So I gotta give it some love at some point, but
Hey, Kai.
Batteries are dead. Yeah.
When you have a chance, well, you're in my madhouse, right? You're in the madhouse. Yeah. Later on, I'll talk to you about it. I actually know a way that you could take some of that yellowing off that thing.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah. I was just gonna paint it.
No, no. There's a way you could take the yellowing off so you don't like destroy the plastic with paint.
It still works.
It's a delicate process, though.
Okay, well, I'm about delicate detailed work, so thank you.
All I have to offer is Jaina Solo.
Oh, from the Black Series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but I had to,
can I see that
again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
When I stopped buying stuff was when that came out, and I was like, "Damn it!"
Well, I wanted to get my hands on some of the EU stuff because I figure like the EU stuff's going to be harder to come by, only because people are kind of realizing that the EU is way better than the sequel trilogy stuff. So
yeah, I have Revan.
Yeah, so a lot of people are picking up EU type stuff, and that's good. Oh, nice, Fanzine. I like that.
Oh my God! Is that the ones from the 90s?
Yeah, it's Andre the Giant. I rescued it from a yard sale.
Well, because I wanted. It's an Undertaker one where it actually had a water squirting ability. Is that from the same series or no?
No, this is. It still says WWF on it.
Nice.
Oh no, it just came like this. It's from 1997.
I think it's the same series.
That's great.
Because the one I had actually, they came with smaller ones where they were all big and bulky and musculared out, like way beyond they really are, and it was all like really extravagant looking, like their hands looked super huge, like the Hulk, and they had like the Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they had this button that you would push on them, and I think it wouldn't like squirt water out like a water pistol, but it would squirt water off the top of the head, so it looked like they were sweating.
This is, oh no, this is just all the thing that moves is his arms and his chest.
Okay.
There's nothing. Don't squirt or anything.
Oh, Scotty from Sporking News Podcast
Pretty
is here
cool.
too. What's
Oh.
going on, Scotty? Thanks for
What's
stopping
up,
by, buddy.
Sporker?
Well,
So JJ had started this whole thing, right? This whole kick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
who didn't have a Millennium Falcon?
Dude, one of my first, you said something about models, right? One of my first models was like the Gen 1 big ass model of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh,
And
you did a
it
mock.
drove me
Nice.
nuts. Yeah, it drove me nuts. I never finished it. It ended up being garbage.
Oh God.
You know what
Yeah.
I had? I had
We've
some
all
of the
done
old.
that.
Do you guys remember the old Star Wars diecast cars? Like they were like what they were like 9 inches big at the most or something. Actually, I think they were only like 6 inches maybe. They were actually pretty small. Now I'm thinking about it, but they looked big as a kid because I had a Millennium Falcon, I had the Land Speeder, I had a TIE Fighter, I had Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. I also had the the battle cruisers, Star
The Star
Destroyer.
Destroyers. Yeah.
But I always lost the Tantive 4 that used to come in the bottom because it had the little slide compartment where the Tantive 4 used to sit on the underside of the Star Destroyer. I always lost that damn Tantive 4 ship because it was nothing but a teeny tiny little plastic ship that actually push pinned into the bottom of them. Yeah, always lost that thing.
Oh,
What comes back into my mind just right now, thinking of all the stuff that I had back then. Star Wars lunch pail.
Damn right.
My
That lunch
thermos.
pail. I had that lunch pail forever, man. Not the thermos. I lost the thermos.
No, that was the name of the company that made it. The name of the company was Thermos.
Yeah.
God, man, I wish I had a couple of old school lunch boxes for the longest time, man. Because I remember back when I was a kid, I had a Bugs Bunny one, and then I had a Star Wars one too.
So one side it was the Land Speeder with everyone, and then the other side was the TIE Fighter and the shoot going after the X-Wing, right?
Oh, there goes the Land Speeder.
Yeah.
Houdini!
We're here in the hood, man.
But yeah, the between the movies and the toys, man, it was just a part of my childhood I'll never forget.
Oh yeah.
And it's and believe it or not, people usually look at people when you say stuff like this, but because of those 3 movies is because of mainly part of why I'm the person I am today. I believe in one thing and one rule: do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you touched on a really good point, JJ, because I'm not certain that we would have turned out to be the men that we are without some of the stuff that we grew up on. Because I kind of made this point last week, but a lot of the shows that we had, like let's say we were watching G.I. Joe cartoons, or like you said with Star Wars, like the
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. Sporking. Hey, you know what, Scotty? I understand completely, buddy. I thank you for stopping by. You have a good night. Get some sleep. Get some rest,
man.
buddy. All
Take care, Scotty.
Thanks, Scott.
Congratulations.
Nice working.
Does that guy ever sleep?
Well,
Yeah.
according to him, he's about to. So
Yeah,
Well, if you ever see me, my eyes always look the same. You see that little black eye of mine? It's always exactly the same. We hardly ever sleep. We take little naps.
I hadn't been sleeping well the last few days, and so I was at the point where I was doing little micro sleeps like randomly throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday night I slept like a brick. So yeah, sleeping feels good.
Go ahead, Drew. Where were you going with?
No, I was just saying, I think a lot of those things they helped reinforce the parenting that we had. The lessons our mom and dad taught us, and those shows went out of their way to give you that thing, like JJ said, where when it gets down to it, all you need to do is the right thing. Have a code. and they taught us how to have, you know, a code, how to be honorable, how to, you know, step up and do the right thing. And that is something that is lost on a lot of people, because now, you know, everything is so politicized, and instead they're trying to drill political agenda and garbage in people's heads, instead of going back and just reinforcing the most basic thing, and that's how to have a code to live by and a moral compass. You know, the beautiful thing about that stuff was, you know, it reinforced the golden rule, and that's that's the easiest thing to reinforce. You know, to teach the golden rule, and that's how it was.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kids
you know
aren't
what,
getting that now.
Drew, Luffy is God. He says it too, and you get a lot of his cartoons because they used to do it at the end of He-Man, G.I. Joe, and a lot of the other ones. Most of the cartoons had a moral lesson at the end. Remember that? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole episode was about learning that lesson, and it's funny. Luffy is God. The Luffy is God is named after a character from an anime called One Piece, and I'm in the middle of it right now. I'm like 400 something episodes in. That show is amazing, and in terms of morality, like it does that regularly, the teaching moral lessons, but it's not even just an episodic thing. It's like a theme of like arcs, you know, like they just touched on human trafficking, or on you know, well, trafficking, because they're also trafficking fish people. That's another story. But yeah, like that show is fantastic about it, and so thankfully there are still shows that are doing that, but it used to be, all the shows used to be about teaching kids to treat people right and, you know, not lose their temper and stuff like that. You know?
Well, what Drew is hitting on, I was talking about it late last night, was I was comparing Alita and the principles that she learned from her father. She called the guy her father. How dare she? She was a half robot when he found her and helped make her whole. And at the end of the movie, she calls him her father. It's a beautiful film, man. Had a lot of great lessons. It came out the same weekend as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet.
Oh, exactly. Got buried because it came out the same weekend as Captain Marvel. What were the moral lessons and the principles of Captain Marvel?
How to be a bully. That's all.
Okay.
That's
I want to take a TV timeout right here.
How to hate men.
And stop for a second. Fanzine has got to go ahead and he's got to get started because he's got a stream coming up at 11. And, you know, I am going to try to end this right around the same time that he's getting ready to start, because I want to see what you got to say, bud. I mean, I don't always have a chance to catch every single one of your lives or your premieres, but I always try to come around when I can. And you know what? This guy is this guy is so supportive of so many different people in the community. He goes out of his way to retweet a lot of people's, you know, their content that they're putting up, or he'll go on and he'll leave comments on your videos, or he'll stop by and chat with you in different chats. The guy is incredible, and I really don't think that he gets enough attention. You know, he just doesn't get the attention that he deserves. So go ahead and let everybody know one more time about what you got coming up, Fanzine. And one of the mods, make sure please plug his channel in the chat again. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I'm headed over to my channel here soon. I'm going to be doing a live stream on Bill and Ted, the first two movies. We may even get into the TV series and the cartoon. Just, you know, talking about that part, not the third one just yet. Just going to hang out, have a good time, and just be excellent to each other. And to JJ's point, I wanted to say, you know, Superman the movie was the very first movie I remember seeing, and it resonated with me so much. And I credit that movie for everything that I've become, because that movie was like my gateway into sci-fi, comic books, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, and it just all that I've learned from those is just, I absolutely love it, and I will take them lessons with me throughout my entire life. So I understand where you're coming from, JJ.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah,
Fanzine, much love, man. I just followed you, I think 2 days ago.
Love to you all, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, much love to y'all, guys. You guys have fun, enjoy.
Always great to be on a stream with you, buddy.
Yeah, you too, Supreme.
Yeah, take care of
It's
yourself.
nice hanging with you guys.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, man.
I'll see you
Pleasure.
guys.
Take care, bud.
See you, Tommy.
I went to check right now if I'm subbed to him, but notifications weren't on. So I was like, oh, no wonder.
Oops.
Yeah, that's the YouTube game though.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if I subscribe to, I've stopped subscribing to people on my phone because that's what happens. Because if I turn on notifications, it also turns on notifications just on for YouTube on my phone, which is what I don't want. Or at least that's what happened. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop that. But on my computer, I can hit notifications and it gives it to me when I want it.
I want to go ahead and say hi
Sorry
to
for the
some of the other
freaking-
people that popped up into the chat real quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
we got Bone, of course. You know, we've already talked with Luffy. Chaos Hoy is here. Memes of Destruction.
Captain Trek.
And Captain Trek. Well, Captain Trek has actually been here for a while, and I mean, Captain Trek is a pretty awesome guy. At some point, he hopefully would be able to stop on the panel. We also got Mando Merc that dropped in. Mando Merc is
Yeah,
another
Mando.
awesome guy, man. Mando Merc is another one of those guys. He goes out of his way to help people out, especially in the other chats where he mods at and everything. You know, really do appreciate. Apollo Patriot is here. Oh man,
Mm.
hell, buddy, you and your blue Twilight women.
Yeah, he's forever chasing those blue Twilight women.
Yeah, he loves them. Hey, you know, everybody's got their own thing.
Apollo?
And I want to give a shout out to my buddy Curtis YZ. If you guys ain't following Curtis YZ, Curtis, make sure to put your channel in the chat as well, because Curtis is pretty awesome. Curtis does a lot of old movie talks and everything like that, where he breaks down like important scenes in certain movies that were impactful. Curtis is awesome. Curtis is like one of the first people on YouTube that I actually wound up getting in touch with. And, you know, he's another guy. I just don't think he gets the credit he deserves. I mean, all you guys are awesome on the panel here. Every single person in the chat that has shown up and shown support for every other creator that's out there. You guys are amazing. And you really just don't understand how much it means to everybody that's here that you guys show up and you actually listen to us rant about these things as well. It does mean a lot more than you really think it does.
Yeah, Curtis is good people, man. I like Curtis. Good dude.
Yeah, I met Curtis a while back. I was just when I first started being a chat rat, man, over at Mecha Random 42's channel. That's where I met Curtis at.
Yeah, he's super supportive of everybody. So,
And give a shout out to Soul Assassin as well.
oh yeah, Soul is a man.
But I mean, let's get back to talking about these old franchises that meant so much to us. And one of the things, I mean, you know what, Kai, Paulie,
Yeah.
JJ, you know, and of course, Fanzina was here, Supreme Heretic. I want to thank all you guys for showing that stuff on screen too. It's awesome that you guys were able to bring that stuff up and show it off too. I wish I had a camera to do that, but unfortunately, I only have a camera on my phone, and my phone stinks on StreamYards. I'm sure everybody has had that problem with a phone on StreamYards at some point, because it is
that
not
your
kind to a
excuse,
phone.
Tommy?
What's that?
Is that your excuse?
Yes, that's my excuse.
Okay, all right. I got a spare camera. I'll send it to you.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, I think it might be kind of disturbing to some people if they find out that they are actually really talking to a guinea pig. So
Stupid ass. This is stupid.
Man, you need to get in touch with some of the animators, man, and come up with this fucking guinea pig cartoon, and you voice the lead role, man. It sounds perfect.
Oh yeah, Tommy's got a great voice.
He does, man. Tommy's got a voice for radio. You know, I went to broadcasting school, man. I've got my degree in broadcast journalism, and Tommy, man, he's just got the voice for radio. He does.
I never hear it myself, but
We seldom do.
Yeah.
DJ Odyssey.
Hey,
there's another
Odyssey.
character. There's another character right there.
what's up, Odyssey?
I don't know if are we jumping back in yet.
Pink Bunny himself.
The hate bunny?
No, but I wanted to. I was looking at the time. I don't know about you, Tommy, but I was going to take that and circle around it. Something that I know at some point in time, regardless of what we see, man, is a good old fashioned theater experience. You know what I'm saying? Just going to the movies, throwing a couple hours away a day, just to get away from real life, just to escape into a decent movie, which I know it's hard to do nowadays. I'm just saying back then, going to the movies was like such a thing. And a couple of movie theaters here in town just opened up last week, and they're showing nothing but classic movies. Uh, and then I was looking in the Wonder Theater. They were offering like you could rent a theater for up to 20 people, starting at $99, going up to either the three or 375. Two or 375. Discount on the concessions, and they give you a nice list of classic movies. Some of them, what they were offering was the original Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, the original Ghostbusters, Empire Strikes Back, Goonies. I think there was Blade Runner in there somewhere. There was just about a dozen movies you could pick from, and I'm like, yeah, I just miss going to the movies. I don't know how many of you guys heard about it. Me and Tommy were talking about it before we started tonight. Some of these places opening up offering 15-cent movie tickets.
Dang.
Well, you had brought it up when you started this whole thing. It was an experience of going to see Star Wars at the drive-in, and drive-ins are making a comeback. I don't know, Drew, if you guys are doing any articles on drive-ins, but I've seen a couple of films premiering at drive-ins. And you see, I was following The Tax Collector, and they had a Shia LaBeouf at the drive-in.
Yeah, DJ said in the chat that he had Empire Strikes Back at his town last week. So, there's like a drive-in not far from where I live, and I believe that they're always open in the summer. I think they shut down around wintertime just because it gets bad out, but they're open for most of the summer and through the fall. And they do a combination even when there's not a pandemic. They just have always done a combination of old school and new school movies. Sometimes they offer a brand new movie along with an old school movie, and it's pretty cool. So I would like to see more. I like that experience to come back. Oh God, the last date I was on with the chick, we went to that drive-in actually.
Nice.
So well, I don't know if you guys had heard about this one or not, but there was an article out there where they were talking about Walmart is actually supposed to start turning their parking lots later at night into drive-in theaters.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be the crew in charge of that job.
I'm sure it's going to be a mess at first, but I mean, really, when you think about it, with the state of everything that's in right now, with not knowing how long that this is going to last, I think that is actually a tremendously smart move on their part.
Yeah, if they do it. I mean, I know they talked about it. I'll believe it when I see it because it is Walmart. But I'm anxious to see just the traditional actual drive-ins make a bit of a comeback because that's a fun movie going experience when you do that. It really is.
I'm gonna do a review on this new movie. I'm sorry, Drew. It's called Murder in the Woods with Danny Trejo.
Okay.
It opened up in like 29 drive-ins across the country.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I grew up on drive-ins. It's a double feature, and it's cheaper. Like, how did that become unpopular?
I used to love going to some of the ones that had dual screens. So I could sit there on one screen, they would have something like, I don't know, the original Clash of the Titans playing. And on the background screen, they would have Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wow.
See,
I used to watch-
Leatherface versus the Kraken mashup.
Oh, I used to sit up on the roof. That was my thing. My parents would let me get up on the roof with a blanket, and I would sit there and I would just like look back and forth between both screens.
There you go.
If I wasn't really, I remember one time, I don't remember what movie was playing. I wasn't into it. It was like the second movie, but on the other screen they were playing. What's the one where Eddie Murphy becomes a superhero? It's like a meteor.
Oh shit!
48 hours.
No, it's where the one where he becomes
Meteor Man?
Golden Child.
Was it Meteor Man?
No, it wasn't.
No,
Golden.
Meteor Man was another guy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, that movie was playing, and so I was watching that.
Pluto Nash.
No.
Pluto Nash.
Pluto Nash.
It might have.
I actually like that movie, Pluto Nash. It gets a lot of hate, but it was silly and fun.
It's a lot of hate.
It
God, I
does.
don't
It
know
really
why.
does.
I am blanking on that guy's name from Meteorite Man.
Is it Meteorite Man?
No, I'm blanking on the guy's name that was in Meteorite Man.
Oh, Robert Townsend.
Bad with
Robert
names.
Townsend, that's it, yeah.
Culture Casino's really good about names. I'm terrible.
And he has nice hair.
Let me see. It came around. It was around the same time as Pluto Nash. So if I can search for Pluto Nash and then just look at the movies
You can
around.
IMDb Eddie Murphy and look at his entire film history.
Oh, that's what I'm doing.
But yeah, and then to answer that question as far as like what happened to drive-ins in Southern California, it's just prime real estate. So they slowly went away. The closest ones are like, the sticks. But people are going.
I have two in the town I grew up in.
Was it Santa Fe Springs?
No, in Riverside
Oh, okay.
here in California. There's drive-ins on opposite sides of town. So no matter where you are, there's one within reasonable distance.
I think we only got one, and it's not that great.
Where was
the
the one, JJ, that you went to see Star Wars at?
It was over on the north side of town. I live in Florida, and it was down what we consider now one of the bad sides of town. But it was on Main Street, and I think it had like 3 screens. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it was a blast. Like I said, I had my tater chips, and I had 2 movies in front of me, and I just went to town, and I was a happy kid. I slept good on the way home that night. Unbelievable experience. I wish I could have seen that. Well, I did. I saw the special edition of Episode 4 in a theater, but I wish I could have been in a theater or known what a theater was back then. Don't get me wrong, the drive-in was phenomenal, but you always get more out of the theater experience. I would love to go to a drive-in now and listen to it in my car and see what it sounded like.
In Grease, you saw the movie Grease at a drive-in where they had a big scene at the drive-in.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a drive-in at a drive-in. It was great.
Yeah, I love that movie. I saw that movie at a theater in Whittier Boulevard in East LA.
Oh, wow. He grew up in East LA. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't help that. I couldn't
All right.
help that.
I love that. I love that movie. I just watched it a few days ago.
Yeah.
The movie's hilarious.
I don't see it. I'm
Check
sorry.
it out.
The Eddie Murphy thing. I don't see.
Are you sure it was Eddie Murphy?
Maybe it was Hancock, dude. Someone's saying in the chat, DJ Odyssey. saying-
Yeah,
Are you?
That's
Is
Will
it-
Smith.
Are you sure there was a superhero movie with Robert Townsend? I thought.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Meteor Man.
DJ Odyssey, Odyssey also talks
Maybe I'm
about
remembering it wrong because I was little.
Damon Wayans.
Meteor.
Yeah.
Oh, the Meteor Man. Who the hell is this? Let me see.
Yeah.
Robert Townsend. Okay. Yeah, I
Oliver
guess I was
Shuffle,
wrong.
man.
I've only seen it. I saw it way back when I was a kid.
Well, Kai,
Oh.
Damn, they all look
we're
like
gonna have to
Tyson.
say something to you, so we might as well get the crying out of the way right now. Black people do not all look alike, Kai. So stop that.
When I was a
Right.
kid, I straight up confused.
Ooh.
I straight up confused Marlon Wayne. No.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, Martin from Bad Boys. I confused
Martin Lawrence.
Martin with the dude that played Blade.
The Wesley
Wesley
Snipes?
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, yeah. As
Wow.
a kid, I straight up, I mixed them up.
Wow, dude.
I don't
Right.
even know how you mixed them up.
How did you mix
They
that?
were
Dude,
dying. They were
Time,
dying.
Stop talking right now, Kyle.
whatever you're smoking or whatever kind of edible you got going on there, my friend. Yeah, you better check because you may have cataracts or something. There's something going on there.
Yeah, man.
Damn, they all look like Tyson. Oh.
Together, man. Like it doesn't matter what color you were.
Hey, aren't they redoing Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence? Or Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart. Oh my
I
lord.
just heard that today. I just saw that news item.
God, I am so tired of remakes. Just so sick of it. I mean, there's a million ideas out there of new shows that they could do, and they're too lazy to do it.
Well,
They want
those two
something
guys
easy.
those two guys are hilarious. I mean, one's a comedian and one's the straight man, but give them something new to do.
Yeah.
But
Yo,
I don't know.
some of these movies that Eddie Murphy was in though, like imagine them today. Like look at Vampire in Brooklyn, The Nutty Professor, Beverly Hills Cop. Like imagine if we could remake those.
Kind of superpower for Blaze Vision.
Like Eddie Murphy fat shames in new movie.
Marihuanero.
No, what was that? What was that one movie, Tales from the Hood?
Yeah, right. That Dread was dope.
Like
Tales from the
Harlem
Hood.
Nights.
Oh,
Harlem Nights.
Don't Drink Your Juice in the Hood. What was it? Tales from the Hood. That's a different one.
He wasn't
Yeah.
in that, was he?
That was the takeoff on Tales from the Crypt. That was actually a funny movie.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah. So was speaking of movies in the hood, Leprechaun in the Hood was very funny.
You're kidding me.
No, there is a movie called Leprechaun in the Hood, and it's hilarious if you watch it.
What was
That's
the
what-
one with Snoop Dogg? It was supposed to be a spin-off like the Tales from the Dark Side and stuff like that. It
I
was like
think he was in Tales from the Hood.
Bone or something
Might
like
have
that.
I think he might have been in Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, I want to say it was something like Bone or something like that. It had Snoop Dogg in it.
No, no idea, bro. I think he was. I think he was in Tales from the Hood. I want to say.
I mean,
but
I
could be wrong.
literally have the DVD sitting on my shelf, but I can't see it from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's called Glasses.
Love
Glasses ain't going to help me see something like it's over 25 feet away.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
You got me mixed up with Kai. Hey, smoke a little more, JJ.
Oh wow.
It's the eyes.
Really?
It's the eyes that did it. You mix up our eyes.
Curtis YZ, I think it is Bone. Yeah, I think it's Bone. I think is the name of the movie with
Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
This sounds painful. Sounds awful. Was it any good?
Guinea Pig from the Hood. It wasn't bad. I mean, obviously, I have it in my DVD collection, so it must not have been the most horrible movie out there. So
Guinea Pig from the Hood.
that actually is a true story.
That's
a true
great.
story. You don't understand the amount of racism or actually speciesism that I actually received growing up in Trenton. I mean, yeah.
You're so
I gotta-
stunning and brave.
They're dog
It's
people out
terrible. It's terrible. It's not easy being fuzzy.
Oh hell no! In Trenton, no, dude, you ain't no damn guinea pig. You a hood rat.
Hood rat, hoochie mama.
Captain Trek.
I only mean that in the best way possible.
What's up, Captain Trek?
But
All right.
I think we're going to get some final thoughts here because I want to start winding it down because I want all of us to go over there and surprise fanzine And
Yeah.
let's go over there and show that guy some support. I mean, he really does help a lot of people out in the community, and I would like to see as many people as we have here possibly to go over there and support him while he's getting ready to start his live. So
We may not have the raid option like Twitch, but we could still go over there and raid Fanzine and blow up his view numbers a little bit. So yep.
All right, so I'm going to go around the panel. We're going to start with my man, JJ. Go ahead.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Your boy JJ. I ain't got a lot going on. I got a live stream tomorrow night over on Chaos Central and Bigger Ford Entertainment with Onzo, Chris Knight, and Danny Graham. It's called the Chaos List. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. I have my own live stream. It's called Randomness at its Finest. It's a random panel, random topic. You guys should come by one night whenever I can figure out a home night for it. And you can also follow me right here on Twitter at SidFord3827. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Come check it out. And once again, Tommy, thank you for having me on. I had a blast as always. There was some great stuff discussed tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure, JJ. Always a pleasure. My new co-host, Mr. Drew, Supreme Heretic.
Who is that?
Oh, well, hey. You should check out my channel. It's youtube.com/Supreme Heretic. And I can promise you will have a fabulous time when you check out my content. You can also read me on boundingintocomics.com. And soon, I may even have an OnlyFans just for you.
A lot of backdoor action over there going on at Supreme Heretics channel. Make sure that you guys stop by and check it out. He is also associated with the Greater Enema Menace, and he will be able to help you out with all your Enema Kit needs. I had to plug Steven at some point, so anyway, Kai, go ahead and let everybody know what you're up to and where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm Kai. I do a trivia game show every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific on my channel. This week I just did a casual live stream. Next week I'm doing a 100 subscriber celebration because I'm up to 100 subs. Thank you, Polly, the push on that one. Polly took me from 96 to 105 on his show. So yeah, thanks a lot. And I actually wrote a sci-fi novel that's coming out in October, and I got the first proof for it from Amazon, and so yeah, I'm actually freaking holding it now. But
whoa,
that looks cool, man. Nice.
Congrats.
Very nice.
Has it become surreal yet?
Huh?
Has it become surreal yet?
A little bit. Like when I pulled it out, I was like, oh shit, it's so fat.
That's what she said.
You know,
hi.
Nice.
So, yeah, and but that's me. So I'll probably be talking about that more now that it's a real thing I can hold.
Hey, Kai, they can't find your channel on.
I'm digging it up as we speak.
Okay.
So, Paulie, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on, sir.
Oh, we got a lot going on. Kai is actually my co-host with our live show on the Latino Slant. We do a live show once a week. We talk about a bunch of different topics, everything from the box office to issues of the day. This week coming up every Thursday night late afternoon, 4 p.m. We're going to talk about 80s new wave bands, and we're going to see what this whole term Latinx is all about. It sounds like a Kleenex. I just put up. It's gonna be fun, man. I just put up a review of the new docuseries called The Last Narc on Amazon Prime. That is an awesome four-part series. Go check out my review on it, and if y'all like it, go watch the Last Narc. It's an incredible true story. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Tommy.
Oh, no, absolutely. It was absolutely a blast having every last one of you on here. And everybody, make sure that you stop by and check out all their channels. These are all great people to be able to have good conversations with and to be able to watch some of their content because some of it is extremely entertaining. Now, as we know, some of us always can't find the time to get around to everybody, but even if you get a chance to stop around once in a while, it actually is going to mean a hell of a lot to everybody that's here. And we truly do appreciate everybody that's come out tonight. You know, every last one of you, you're amazing. My hat is off to every last one of you. And, you know, as soon as this ends, do me a favor, go over there, stop by Fanzine's chat, show that man some love. We're probably going to have to put his channel in the chat one more time just so everybody jumps over there and shows that man some love. So we're going to end this with, I want to thank every last one of you for being here, from the panel to the chat. You know what? It has been a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing this every week, and I look forward to hearing what everybody has to say. And remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't say, what you should or shouldn't watch, because your silence gives consent. And I will catch you all next time. Later, y'all.
Have a good night.
Adios.
Good night, guys.